Congratulations, Bud. They make a lovely couple.
It must be a great relief for you, that boy turning out as well as he has. Well, all I meant to say was that who'd have thought it with all the stories about the Indian girl going on.
It's a tribute to you, Bud. To you and Joyce. You really hung in there. You know, you want a happy ending. You believe in your children.
And it's a good thing those two got married. Now what they're up to is legal.
Come on. He really hates going to those things.
Stop. Getting a dress all mussed up. Mom, I just got married.
Shit. It just slipped out.
You are just slipped out.
I never
Come on.
absolutely his favorite thing in the world.
That's true.
I make it all the time.
Well,
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
You haven't? Have you told her?
Told her.
Not fair you marrying that girl without making a clean breast of it. She's got a right to know.
Dad, it's over. Why go over it?
Do what your conscience tells you, son. I always thought you had one.
Well, we're here.
Lee.
Sandy?
Mm-hmm.
If anyone ever told you anything about me,
Mm-hmm. It's okay. I don't expect you to be a virgin.
it's about... There was this girl. This Indian girl. At the pump house.
I know. I know. The first time I met you, my girlfriend said it was you.
Hey, it wasn't me who did it. I never touched her.
I know you, it's okay. I know you'd never hurt anyone. Baby. Our love will heal the past.
Welcome to the bar, sir.
Minister? Good to see you. Good to see you. Young lady?
How was your flight?
Smooth as silk. Thanks for asking. I'm looking forward to our meeting. I really am. Good day, Constable.
Constable Benton, sir.
Ah,
Constable Prishbilski.
well, nice to meet you, Frisbee. Hey, how are you? Good to see you again.
You want to drive, Constable Frisbee?
Prishbilski to you.
If I can remember it. Prish Frisbee. Do me a favor. Don't get us lost this time. It's right at the highway.
Yeah, I happen to know. I came through here once before, about 10 years ago.
Mr. Minister, though gains have been made by Aboriginal people, women, Indigenous women, continue to suffer due to poverty and lack of education. Why is it then that we are the first to feel the bite of government cutbacks to the support groups that we so badly need? Mr. Minister, not too far from here, in the woods near Clearwater Lake, a young Aboriginal woman was brutally beaten and murdered. Now, many have forgotten Betty Osborne, including her killers, who have all gone free. But to Indigenous women everywhere, her memory has stayed alive, reminding us of the terrible wrongs that Native women continue to suffer in this country.
So this Betty Osborne, what's the story on that?
I couldn't tell you. Next time, make a right on Edwards from that railway.
Sure. Well, so, if Betty Osborne's killers were known, how come nobody was ever charged?
I don't know. It was about 10 or 12 years ago. I guess they couldn't pin it on anyone.
What was the evidence weak? 2 week delayed charges, is that it?
Look, I told you I don't know, but maybe he knows. That's one of your suspects right there. Lee Colgan.
Him? Well, he still lives here?
I guess they couldn't pin anything on him.
Hey, sorry. Running up a tab?
Hey, Rudy.
Yeah?
Give him a beer.
Hey, it's my kid's birthday today. Hey, everybody! My kid's birthday! He's 8 years old today! Cute little guy. Smart, too. Smart as a whip. Always up to some mischief. Like the time he pulled the chicken off the counter and gave it a bath. Sandy, she met. How are you doing? Think you remember me? My kid? Think he'll remember his dad after all this time? I tried, eh? I tried. She kept saying I had to go to AA, had to lick this thing. I kept telling her it's not the booze. November 12th, 1971, that's when it all stopped. It all stopped for me.
Lee, just give it a rest, okay? We've heard it all a million times. I'm going to the bathroom.
Hey, another beer. Another beer. You're new around here, eh? Well, I'm Lee Colgan. Everyone around here knows me. I'm famous. People always send me free screwdrivers.
let me get that.
Thanks.
You working late?
Yeah. Have a good evening.
Good night.
Night, Lori.
Constable, all settled in now?
Well, I've got a bed. It's a start. And Constable Dutton's had me over for dinner a couple of times.
Oh, did he? I didn't think he could cook.
Well, he can't, but his girlfriend can.
Well, you're gonna do a little light reading, I see.
Just looking into an old file, Sergeant, if that's all right.
Oh, absolutely. No case is ever closed. Go to it, Constable. That's what we like to see around here. Initiative.
She was found lying on her back in the snow, nude except for a pair of high black winter boots. There was considerable blood in the area where the body was found, and it was radiating above the head like a halo. Her skin was swollen and purple, flecked with what appeared to be dozens of stab wounds. She appeared to be in her teens. Helen Betty Osborne, a Cree Indian from Norway House Reserve. 5 feet 1 inch, 101 pounds, 19 years of age. A grade 10 student at Margaret Barber High School. An article was placed in the local paper asking for anybody having information to come forward. None was forthcoming that proved to be of assistance. None was forthcoming. Six months later, an anonymous letter was received. In it, the writer said Lee Colgan had confessed his involvement in the Osborne murder, and it implicated Jim Houghton and Norm Manger in the killing. Rumors suggest Colgan had apprised many of his fellow students of his involvement in the murder of Osborne. Information linking Dwayne Johnston to the murder was subsequently obtained from an informant, a member of Johnston's biker gang. Investigators are certain that these are the suspects, but the conclusive link is still required. It is suspected townspeople are withholding crucial information vital to the investigation. Repeated appeals for information have been met with silence. Investigators are certain that these are the suspects, but the conclusive link is still required. Signed, Constable Michael E. Hall.
Excuse me.
What are you doing now? Is he in trouble again?
Can we get coffee here?
Broke in, he thought he was trying to get home. He broke into this old lady's work. Caused a whole bunch of trouble.
That guy is crazy. He'll never settle down. His brother's older, but he ain't smarter.
Anything else I can get you?
It's okay.
Why do they call that place?
Can I help you?
I know you. Your name is, Annie. No, hang on. Angie. Used to wear your hair down. You had a little gold cross, and you wanted to move away from here. Oh, Steve Przybilski. I passed through here about 12 years back. You served me. I was always, memorizing everything, training myself, hoping to join the RCMP.
Well, at least someone's dream came true.
You haven't been around here in 12 years, eh? Things have changed. Not for the better.
You still have those donuts, those, famous donuts?
The original Jam Buster. If you can eat a dozen in 2 minutes, you get the Darcy Bancroft Award. It's a kind of a local tradition.
Oh, one'll do me fine, thanks.
One? Are you a cop or not?
There you go. So, just got here?
Yeah. Boy, has the place ever changed. I thought I was coming to the Wild West, but what do I find? Indians own shopping malls. Yeah, I drove up to the lake this morning, over by that pump house. A murder happened there once. Betty Osborne. Did you know her? She was a student at the high school.
You've got jam on your face.
Yeah, I remember. About the murder. Why'd you ask?
Just curious.
Oh, it's no charge, Constable. Welcome back to the paw.
Thanks. Be seeing you, Angie.
Yeah.
Mrs. Lefebvre?
Miss.
Wise decision, considering the national statistics.
That must be the reason. Can I help you, Constable?
Przybilski. Steve. Yes. I was very interested in what you had to say the other day. About Betty Osborne?
Really? You guys finally reopening the case?
Well, not exactly. That is, the case has never been closed.
Could have fooled me. Betty's been dead a long time. Those guys are still free.
Well, it would have helped if people who knew something had come forward. That seems to have been the main problem.
Right. So the Mounties put an ad in the paper? Great investigative technique, Constable. An ad asking for information from this town? I mean, come on. Did you guys even care?
You can't lay charges if you don't have the evidence.
Evidence? Let me give you the evidence. When I was a young girl, and I went to the movies, I couldn't sit in the middle aisle. That was for whites only.
If I happened to walk down the street at night, I'd get cruised by white boys who expected sex from me just because I was a squaw. I had to quit school after Betty died because the white boys made me feel like I'd be next. Betty was killed because she was native. Her killers went free because they were white. Case closed.
Would you happen to have a copy of the 1971 school yearbook?
Must be Friday.
There's more pot roast in the oven. Apple crisp for dessert, and I got the coffee started. And don't you men worry about the dishes, because I'm going to take care of everything when I get home.
When have we men ever worried about the dishes? Hey, Dad?
So I'm just off for a quick rehearsal, and then over to the church for seniors night. We're going to sing the entire score of Oklahoma tonight.
Dad, I want the car.
Lee, why don't you come over with me to the church? We can always use another baritone.
Ah, the nice Colgan boy? The murderer?
Don't say that.
Don't talk like that at the dinner table, do you hear me?
Do you know how old I am? I'm 31.
Now stop drinking. Get a hold of yourself, get a job. Get a car of your own.
I used to have one. I used to have a wife and kid.
I used to have a son.
Not my fault Sandy took off with my kid. 3 months I didn't know where they are. You know what that did to me? I tried, eh? I was 17, head of sales at Freeman's. You know what I could have been now? I would have had a new car every year. Had a better job than you.
I wish you had. I wish you had.
Just give me the goddamn car.
Not until you eat your pot roast.
Just give me those goddamn keys.
Forget it.
I tell ya.
And
Shut
watch
up!
the hawk making lazy circles in the sky.
Sorry, we're closed.
Closed? But even to an old friend like me?
That's right, we go back a long way.
You know, I didn't think I'd see you in town again. Didn't you tell me way back when that you wanted to travel? To see the world?
I got as far as Winnipeg.
And back here?
I guess the paw gets in your blood.
Hey, did you recognize this? I was just leafing through, and there you were in the grade 11s.
That's as far as I got.
I know this is Lee Colgan. Who's this girl? Did you know her? Where does she live now, do you know?
Debbie, she's still in town.
How about this girl?
Sherry. She's in Regina. What's this? this all about?
The Osborne case. Angie, I just want to find out about these kids. I thought maybe you could help.
This is Donnie. He's in Vancouver now.
This girl here?
Lynette. I haven't seen her in years.
Need a ride?
No, thanks. I just live around the corner.
Oh, sure. Bet you just don't want to be seen with a cop.
Well, people do talk around here.
Do they?
$1971. You want to run it again?
Yes, but not exactly the same.
Hello, have you seen the Campbell report?
Yeah, just give me a sec on that, would you?
Yeah, I'd like to place an ad to sell my truck, please.
Take it easy on the window, you stupid little... Thought someone was trying to break in!
Betty. Girl of my dreams.
Hey, Chris?
The RCMP are requesting the public's assistance in the investigation of a murder which occurred over 13 years ago.
Say they have new evidence. Says somebody came forward and gave them some information.
Police are even interested in learning the names of people who may know something about the incident.
Why would they want to know that? To lay charges? And can they lay charges against people for withholding information?
There's no law that says you have to come forward, is there?
Well, some of us may have heard Lee Colgan speak of the incident, but what of it? That's hearsay. That's not admissible as evidence. I know that. I had a year of law school.
I'll bet it's that friend of yours, Angie, trying to get himself promoted out of town.
I never said he was my friend.
Gossip. It's all I ever heard. Hey, you know what? Something I could never figure out. Now, there was 4 of them, and just one of her. And she's just this little bitty thing. Why couldn't they just have their way with her?
Yeah. Yes, I understand. Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Who was it?
It's news from home.
What?
Same old thing.
Your friend Gary called from the pot. He said there was an ad in the paper. Cops are looking in the pump house murder again. And they might be asking you some questions. What's it got to do with you? Dwayne, what's it to you?
Jesus. What are you, too stupid? You don't go talking about stuff like that on the phone. Could be tapped. God. Pat! Pat! Pat!
Why didn't you tell me? How could we be together so long and I never knew?
There's nothing to know. I wasn't there. Look, I was not involved. Thanks for your help.
Hey, Denton. Do you, know anything about the bikers in town?
Some.
I need to find out who the biker was who informed against Dwayne Johnston. He was one of the 4 suspects in the Osborne case.
Well, I know who he is. And I know a few things about the case.
So, think you could do some checking around?
Find him yourself, Frisbee. I got a full-time job here. I got a girlfriend, and I got a cat.
Constable Przybilski, in my office.
What the hell is going on around here? Do you have any idea what you might have precipitated?
A lot of paranoia, Sergeant. Maybe a little guilt. At least I hope so.
You have no idea, do you? When the native community gets wind of this, they'll get all stirred up. Then the media will be up in arms. Before you know it, the politicians will all be given news bites. Thank God this is only a local paper.
Actually, Sergeant, I did run the ad in other cities.
Ottawa. Did you run the ad in Ottawa?
No, not Ottawa. But Vancouver, Winnipeg, Regina.
Regina! Constable, you better have a damn good reason for running that ad. Otherwise, you're going to see a lot of good men go down in flames around here. You and me included.
Sergeant, I ran the ad to shake people up. Get them nervous, get them talking.
Why would they talk now?
It's been a long time. Loyalties or fears might have subsided. That's why I've targeted specific cities, places where Lee Colgan's school friends have moved to. I think one of them might have written the anonymous letter back in 1972.
That's your plan?
If we can get to the anonymous letter writer, we can arrest Colgan. Constable Hall never had anything to squeeze Colgan with. If we get Colgan, we get the others.
You expect all this from an ad in some newspaper?
Yes, Sergeant.
Constable, I'm trying to control myself here. But it strikes me you don't know what the hell you're doing.
Actually, Sergeant, I have a pretty good idea. You see, pretty soon, the phone's gonna ring. All I have to do is wait.
That's it?
That's it.
I'll get it.
Constable Przyszpilski.
Hold on a second, John.
And he said this to you? Directly to you? When can we get together? No, when?
No. Listen to me. Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Wait, I've got to talk to you. Who are you?
I hope you've been getting calls, Constable. Because I've been getting calls. Lots of calls. From native groups, from the media, from upstairs.
Sergeant, not to worry.
Not to worry?
Yeah, thanks, bud. I owe you one. Well, I found your biker informer for you. He's still in town. But that's it. That's as far as it goes. So you can just thank me, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah?
Hey, how you, Curtis?
Hey, babe.
How you doing?
Not bad.
That's good. Who's that?
Just the chick. She hangs around with Big Ed. Got it. You Curtis Turner?
Deja vu, huh? You mounty sure of a thing about urinals.
I understand you have some information on the Osborne murder?
Never heard of it.
Talk to me, Curtis. Or I swear every biker in the province is gonna know you informed on Johnson.
Screw you. I got nothing to say. I'll deny everything.
You tell your pal Johnson I've already had one call about him from someone who overheard him boasting about what he did to that girl. You tell him I'm getting close to him. You got that?
I don't think you should have told him that, Steve.
Well, if you want apples, you gotta shake the tree.
No, I'm sorry, he's not here right now. Can I take a message? Oh, Steve, some woman just called. She says she'll call back at 3.
You think it's the same woman?
I hope so. Thanks, Lori. Constable Przyszpilski?
You have to push the reset button. I'll come back.
Uh-huh. Yes, I can be there.
You're Constable Przyszpilski?
Yes.
I'm the one you spoke to on the phone. I'm Sherry Linden.
I read your request for information in the Regina paper. In the spring of 1972, I wrote a letter to the RCMP saying that Lee Colgan had told me that he was involved in the murder of Betty Osborne.
You were the one who wrote the anonymous letter?
I wanted to sign it, but I had been threatened and I took the threat seriously.
Look, I really appreciate you coming forward. But if this case is ever going to be resolved, I need witnesses. Witnesses who are willing to testify in court.
You know, some people have such happy memories of high school. They remember football games, dates, and proms. And all I can remember is an Indian girl lying dead in the snow and all my friends laughing about it. You know, those native girls, those girls like Betty Osborne from the reserves up north. We never even tried to make them feel welcome here. None of us, not one of us, ever asked even one of them home.
Sherry, if you agree to testify, we can put Lee Colgan in prison for life. I promise you that.
All right. I'll testify.
Good.
Steve, you got a minute? Just thought I'd mention, if it can help at all, that Lee Colgan, he told me about the murder once. Yeah, more than once. He'd go on and on about it, you know.
And you never told the police until now? Do you mind telling me why? I mean, you wouldn't have had far to go.
I wasn't the only one he told. Come on, he told everybody. Every kid at school knew. Hey, come on, it was not up to us to come forward. I mean, if we all knew about the murder, then the police must have known.
Oh, hang on a sec.
Colgan, I've got him.
And now Tyler knows.
How did he find out?
Tyler called me from the office. He said he just received a letter about Brett and me. From
Pam.
From Pam. I knew it.
Well, how did you know?
Oh, come on, Tiffany. You always try to see the best in everyone. You've never wanted to see that she's done everything she can to destroy you.
But why? What did I ever do to her?
She wants to steal Tyler from you. Geez, wake up and smell her coffee, Tiffany.
Destroyed. All she wants is what she can't have.
Lee, you're gonna have a bath, you're gonna shave, and you're gonna get out of this house.
Where, Mom? Where do you want me to go?
You can walk up and down Edwards, go and visit Friedman's, go to the Otinike Mall.
Go hang out at the Indian Mall? Smart, Mom. Real smart.
He just sit there, you know, festering away.
My name is on everyone's lips.
Lee, you've got to buck up. You've got to think happy thoughts. I've always believed in you, Lee.
There's a song in there, eh, Mom? Mom, they're coming for me. I just have to wait and be patient.
Here's to Pam, Tiffany. She planned this whole thing. She's probably out there right now consoling Tyler and telling him how lucky he is to have gotten rid of you.
Ah, Tiffany, you blew it.
No, I won't let her.
Mrs. Colgan, is your son home?
Lee!
Pam's done me a favor after all. Now I know it's Tyler I love, not Brett. Now I have someone to fight for. I'm gonna give her the fight of her life. He knows. All the times I lay in Tyler's arms and dreamed of Brett, and now Tyler knows.
They're here.
Tyler called me from the office. He said he just received a letter about Brett and me. From
Lee Scott Colgan, you are under arrest for murder in the death of Helen Betty Osborne. You are not bound to say anything. You have nothing to hope from any promise of favor and nothing to fear from any threat, whether or not you say anything. Anything you do say may be used as evidence. It is my duty to inform you that you have the right to retain and instruct counsel without delay.
Take care of yourself, son.
Keep singing, Mom.
Interesting coincidence. You're picking him up on Friday morning. Yes, it's very interesting. You wouldn't happen to know that most lawyers are out of town by Friday, would you? I'm putting him down here in this rat hole. A chronic alcoholic with the DTs. You wouldn't, be trying to get him to talk while he's going cold turkey, would you?
I'm prepared to take a statement anytime, sir.
Fine. I just want to know who to sue when he goes into convulsions.
Pardon me, sir?
I just want to know who to sue when he goes into convulsions. And make no mistake, he will go into convulsions. And we will sue.
Somebody's been talking to your friend, the constable.
Okay, I'll come back later.
Yeah, fine.
Lee, they don't have a case. They've got 1 chance in 100 of getting a conviction. But I've got to tell you, even at 1 chance in 100, I don't like the odds.
I went to AA once. Because it's handy. All they wanted to hear about was what happened at the pump house.
Hey, Lee, I'm going after immunity for you on this.
This is just like AA. They want you to talk, but no one's going to give you a drink.
Lee, they've got you in here to shake you up. They're going after Houghton and Johnson.
My buddy. Jim's my buddy.
Lee, listen to me. And listen very carefully. If convicted, you could serve 25 years before you're eligible for parole. But that's the least of your problems. Try surviving in a prison even for 6 months, once the native inmates find out that you've been convicted of killing an Indian girl.
Would I have to talk about Jim?
You know what your best defense is? to never go to trial.
Okay.
Good.
How can we even think of giving Colgan immunity?
There's no question of giving full immunity to Colgan, but we're no nearer arresting Houghton and Johnston.
George, don't do this. I promise we can get the others without Colgan. I don't want to lose him.
Steve, look, you've done an extraordinary job in getting this arrest, but leave the legal side to me. That's my job. Don.
George.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Good. Nice to see you again.
Well, I guess I should be offering you my congratulations. You're what they call a dogged investigator, eh? Of course, you know, I did try to do my part. I'm only sorry it didn't help.
I beg your pardon?
Well, the Colgan boy did tell me a number of things, no more than what he told others, eh? So I subsequently did report that to the Mounties.
Really?
Hmm.
I've been over every inch of the Osborne file, and there's not a single report of your having come forward with any information, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, no. I made a full report to 2 cops. Mounties, I should say. They were plainclothesmen drinking over at the Legion, so I just took the opportunity.
How'd you know they were Mounties if they were in plain clothes?
Oh. Well, I just assumed.
Did you?
Hey! Hey, this won't affect my job, will it?
Where's my bacon burger?
It's coming. I wanted the cinnamon bun toast today.
Hold your horses, eh? I'm supposed to be retired.
Angie's not working today?
I don't know what's wrong with her. She hasn't been in for a few days. She doesn't call. She doesn't pick up her phone.
Look, nobody seriously believes that Lee Colgan killed that girl, or Norm Manger for that matter. Who you're really going after is Johnson and Houghton. And without my client's testimony, I don't think you'll get them.
What's his story?
You'll hear it when we've got ourselves a deal.
We don't do deals in first-degree murder. It's never been done in this province.
George, you need hard evidence, and you don't have it without Lee Colgan.
We might consider partial immunity.
And charge him with kidnapping, assault, and attempted rape? George, my client has always maintained his innocence. He has no reason not to cooperate fully with the police. The price is immunity. Full immunity.
There's no way the Crown will approve anything less than accessory after the fact.
And send him to jail for 14 years? Thanks anyway, George. But we'll take our chances at the preliminary.
We have new evidence against Colgan.
Show me. It's all or nothing, George. Take it or leave it.
Steve, Constable Przybilski. Angie, who did this? Who did this to you?
Dwayne said, I stabbed her, and stabbed her, and I stabbed her. Then he said, do you know what it feels like to kill someone. It feels great. Didn't recognize my voice, eh, Steve?
Angie. I'm sorry.
Do you want to hear something funny? Something no one else in this town knows? My mother was Cree. All these years with the bikers and working at Marg's, all these years I've been living white and acting white and laughing at dirty Indians just like all my friends. I've been so grateful. So grateful that I didn't look Indian.
Bill, can I see you for a second? Yes.
What happened?
We've given Lee Colgan full immunity.
What? No. No, we don't need his testimony to get the others. I've just found a witness willing to testify that Dwayne Johnston boasted of stabbing Betty Osborne.
Good. Excellent. That will help corroborate Colgan's testimony against Johnston.
George, revoke the deal. We can't just let him walk out of here. For all we know, he's as guilty as the others.
Steve, with Colgan's testimony, we will be able to convict both Houghton and Johnston. Now, 2 out of 4 isn't bad.
I'm ready. Here you go. All right. Enjoy. Cheers. Here, there you go. Kids first, I guess. I'll put my dibs on it.
James Houghton?
Yes.
James Paul Houghton, you're under arrest for murder in the death of Helen Betty Osborne. You're not bound to say anything. You have nothing to hope from any promise of favor, nothing to fear from any threat, whether or not you say anything. Anything you do say may be used as evidence. It is my duty to inform you that you have the right to retain and instruct counsel without delay. Do you understand your rights?
Yeah.
Let's get him out of here.
Jim. No. Jim.
Dwayne Archie Johnson, you are under arrest for murder in the death of Helen Betty Osborne. You are not bound to say anything. You have nothing to hope from any promise of favor. You have nothing to fear from any threat, whether or not you say anything. Anything you do say may be used as evidence. It is my duty to inform you that you have the right to retain and instruct counsel without delay.
Wait. I want to kiss my kid. I want to kiss my kid!
Take it easy, fella. Come on. Take it easy.
Pat, I had nothing to do with this.
Into the car.
Papa,
You better come and see
you've
what's
got
going
to know
on.
the basics.
Who is it?
The mother.
Looking good, Norm. Considering I thought you were dead.
Met a woman.
I was in a detox center.
Oh, yeah. Feeling good?
Feel like shit.
Lee Colgan.
I don't remember anything. Don't you, Norm? I do. I remember it all.
Now, on the evening of the 12th and 13th of November 1971, you were driving around in your father's car?
Yes.
And when had you got that car?
Shortly after supper.
Mm-hmm. Did you happen to meet anyone when you were driving around that night?
I met Dwayne Johnson, Jim Houghton, and Norm Manger.
And after you met them, what did you do?
Drove around drinking. Beer, I think.
How long did the beer last that evening?
Till it was gone.
I see. What'd you do then?
We went to Jack Halliday's place. We broke in through the front window and took 2 bottles of Red Devil wine.
And after you left Halliday's with the wine, what did you do then?
Well, we were gonna go out of town drinking.
What happened then? Do you remember?
There was a girl walking down the sidewalk.
When you saw this girl, what did the 4 of you decide to do?
We decided to stop and ask her if she wanted to go to a party.
She's kind of cute, and you're letting her get away
Oh,
with you.
come on, get in, eh, please?
Hey, get out of the way.
Hey, what are you doing? Right on!
All right, hey, we got a live one, huh? Give her some wine.
Yeah, good idea. Come on, have a drink. It's good, relax. Get away.
Well, have some fun, have some fun. Go ahead, I got it. What are you waiting for? Got her, I got it.
I gotta meet my boyfriend.
What's his name? The boyfriend?
Cornelius.
Oh, Cornelius.
Party, horny, cruddy.
Hey, Dick, pass the wine.
Oh, here you go, dork!
My name is Barney Rubble. Right, Fred?
All right, Barney.
Let me go!
Right, Tom? Dick. He's a dick.
Oh, come on, there we go. Smells really good. Gotcha. Hey. Nice. Good one, Norm. No way, man. Come on. Cigarette. Here we go. I want seconds and fifths. You take it. Okay. Oh. Hey, Lee, here you go, buddy. Give it a Lee. Give it a Lee. Whoa. No, wait. I changed my mind, Lee. I'll take it first. Right here. Right here. I want it right there. Right here. Wait. Oh, you okay? No. You bitch. You. No. Give it to her, Dwayne. No. What'd you call me?
You hurt me!
Say it again. What'd you say? What'd you call me? Huh? You wanna play? You wanna play? You kick me, we'll play. Yeah, we'll play right here. Right now. Bitch.
Help me!
Jesus, Dwayne, she's gonna wake the dead, man.
Shut up!
Come on, let's just get out of here. Let's go.
Bitch.
Dwayne, come on!
Hey, Dwayne. What? Dwayne, there's all kinds of people here. They're gonna see us. Let's go. Let's get out of here. We'll go someplace else. We'll go somewhere else. Come on. Get in. Come on. Get in. Just shut up. Get in, stupid. Shut up. You're just gonna get in trouble. You're gonna look a man. Shut your mouth, okay? Stop kicking. Shut your mouth, okay? Shut up. Just be quiet. Shut it up.
Sounds pretty bad out there, man. What are you doing?
Just shut up!
you guys don't come, I'm leaving! I mean it! I'm leaving!
Then I asked where she was. And someone said she was dead. So I started driving.
No further questions, Your Honor. Mr. Colgan, you're free to stand down. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I encourage you, as I have throughout this trial, to avoid coming to any conclusions until all the evidence has been heard. The court will stand adjourned until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Members of the jury, have you reached your verdict? If so, who shall speak for you?
I will.
The prisoners will rise. How say you? Do you find the prisoner, Dwayne Archie Johnston, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Order. Order in the court, please.
How do you find the prisoner, James Paul Houghton, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Order, please. Order in the court. Thank you, members of the jury, for performing your duty in a most long and difficult trial in a very diligent manner. This court stands adjourned until next Monday, when submissions will be heard as to sentencing.
All rise.
Chicks, insufficient evidence. This guy goes scot-free. It was obvious, Johnson, and he admitted it.
I'm not surprised when I got up. These were against him.
They didn't have another witness against him. Could they do?
It was not only the two accused who were on trial here in Thapa. It was the town itself. Evidence emerged that many townspeople knew details of the murder only days after, but for 16 years kept their
respected white
silence.
citizens cared more for the safety of their own than for the defenseless native girl who was so brutally murdered.
Don't you feel any sense of responsibility? You had reported your conversations with Colgan. There might have been convictions 15 years ago.
I would not act any differently today.
We're no more prejudiced than anybody else in this country.
Mr. Houghton, do you sleep well at night?
I sleep very well.
As far as I'm concerned, they got the right one.
Mr. Houghton, an all-white jury acquitted you. Any comments?
Disappointed?
Well, 1 out of 4 is better than none. So what's gonna happen to you now?
I'm leaving town. You remember that trip I always said I was going to take?
Yeah?
Well, I'm going. I'm going home.
There she is. Mrs. Osborne, an all-white jury acquitted Houghton. What is your verdict?
Do you think the people in this town would have acted differently if Betty had been white?
Mrs. Osborne, in your opinion, is justice different for whites than it is for natives?
Mrs. Osborne, are you upset that no native was allowed on the jury?
What is the feeling in the Native community with this outcome, Mrs. Osborne?
Marie!
Come on.
Now, Marie! Betty's here! Betty! Astom! Astomego! Celia! Can you water? Roma!
Betty.
Detanis. Michuashimish. Quais ni tutawi. Kaskina magiwak. Pitu shikuti. Muia tapskutskuta. Nakita hetisu. Nibwa.
Mama.
Detanis. Kawin nama selis. Kisa gate. Kisa gate.
June 1986, another hot night in Harlem.
You back off. Move! Move!
Another ghetto killing.
Says his name's Perry, goes to some kind of academy or something.
He's got a clean record, nothing on him.
Nothing except the fact that he just graduated from the best prep school in the country.
He was shot down like a common criminal. Why?
Who killed Eddie Perry? In a world going nowhere, Eddie Perry was lucky.
This is the beginning of your new lives. You'll study harder than you've ever studied before. You drop the ball, you're out of the game.
I know that my children deserve a dream, and I ain't gonna let nobody stop me from giving it to them.
What he got was a chance to be someone.
You want me to go to a prep school like my brother? Those are the schools that take the best and brightest and turn them into the leaders of tomorrow.
Nobody dances like this, not even white people.
Years from now, you may find yourself attending a formal at the White House. And when you take to the dance floor, I'll be smiling down on each and every one of you from heaven.
One young man carrying the hopes and dreams of an entire community.
You gonna come back here talking all that white stuff? I know you.
Mind everyone else? They're watching me. They're counting on you.
Exeter, New Hampshire, the rarefied air of academia.
I stand before you today to offer a unique privilege, an Exeter education.
But even here, prejudice is spelt the same way.
Am I gonna have to deal with a lot of them calling me nigga and all that?
They never come at you. Ordinary white people. They come out of the side of their mouths with corny little sayings.
Hey, Eddie! Hey! Come on! Break it up!
You're acting like I started
And
this.
you're acting like this campus is some sort of ghetto street corner.
What's that supposed to mean?
You get Harlem out of your mind, because if you don't, you're not going to make it here at Exeter.
In a world pretending to be colorblind, Eddie Perry was caught in the middle.
You need to chill on that white girl.
Between what he wanted
Is it true what they say?
and what was expected of him.
Now you gonna find prejudiced people wherever you go. His job is to rise above it and ignore them. You hear me, Eddie? You ignore them.
Between what people said and what people thought.
They just turned us to the little white boys. They ain't never gonna let us get ahead.
Eddie, I care about you. All I said is that I'm scared and I don't know what to do.
No, I think you do know what you want to do, so fine, we'll break it off right now. Just can't take this place anymore.
Yeah, I know what it's like.
Oh, come on, Sean. Being the only black kid in the class, you know what that's like? Watching people watch me all the time, listening to people ask stupid questions about what it's like to be black, you know what that's like?
Based upon the true story of a young man's struggle to find himself.
Why you got to come back to Harlem anyway? Don't nobody here want to see your Oreo ass?
All I am at Exeter is a smart black kid. All I am here is a credit to my race. Gotta do good for my family, do good for my people, do good for my school. Where's Eddie? What about Eddie?
And of the ultimate tragedy that marks these events in memory.
Perry had no weapon. Why did your officer fire?
We don't know all the circumstances yet.
A mother's pain, a city's outrage.
Officers of the New York City Police Department, your arms and hands are dripping with blood.
And friends who ask why. Who killed Eddie Perry? Best intentions.